Hello everybody, today we are starting our biggest project so far. We are creating a Tic Tac Toe game with a little integrated AI that can play with us. And I don't want to talk too much, let's hop right in. As always, we have to include our libraries first, and we actually need 4 of them. And the first one is the IO stream, and the second one is our string library. We have a vector library and we have an algorithm library, and those are the libraries we are using. And not to forget our namespace. And because our project is not too big, it's okay to use the namespace for STD, otherwise you would write all the STDs that you're shortcutting separate on the list. And now we are coming to our global constants, and we build 5 constant characters for this. And this is because we use all of them for our main parts in our program. For example, our circle in our Tic Tac Toe, and we make it equal to O as well, so we can use it better in our program. And now we have logically X, and we make it equal to the letter as well. And after that we have empty, and we have that because we need empty space in our program, and we just make it like that. We have an empty space, how it says, and then we need tie. If the game ends with no winner, we call it just T. And our last global constant will be no one. This is because we need a constant for when the game is not ended yet, so we can return it, and we call this n. And with that we have our global constants, and we can continue to our functions. And our first function is a void introduction function. And we use them to welcome the player to the game and explain all the rules from it, that he can actually play it. Then we have a character function, and it is to ask yes or no, because we need to know who starts the game. And we have to ask a question if you want to ask first, and for that we add a string and question. And with that we have our second function. Then we have a integer function. We call it ask number. That's because we need to enter something, because we can't click in the console, so we use numbers for it. We ask for the number with a string question, and then just say for the numbers we need an integer high and an integer that is low, and we can already set the low integer to 0. And now we need another character function. We call it human piece. It is for choosing the X or the circle, and to say which one starts first. And we use the ask yes or no function in the human piece to ask this question. and to it we need another character called opponent, and we need it to say that the opponent has to change his sign also, I mean the circle or the X. So we need a character that defines the piece that he's playing. And now we are about halfway done with our function, and we can finally go to our void display board function. And in this function we place a constant vector, a one that cannot be changed fundamentally, and we make it with characters in this vector, and that we can actually have access to it. We make a reference and call it board. Now we have to actually also know when someone wins, and for this we make a function called winner, and we connect it to our constant vector that we know when that it has to say someone has won, and we can call it that exactly the same. And now we need a bool function to look if something is legal or not. And for this we have to include our vector also, because it has to know where something is, and we have to add an integer called move. This will be later the value of each position in the vector. And then we make an integer human move. This is that we can actually do something, and we include our constant vector again, and now we make a character called human, that we know at the end that it was the human that has won the game. And now we also need a computer move, and to that we put our vector, but this time without the constant and without the reference, because we are creating the algorithm and he has to look through our vector that he can figure out the best position to move his next piece. And to that we are making a character that is called computer, that we can say when, or that we have a name for it. And now we come to our last function. It is our void function that is called announce the winner, and in it we just have the character for the winner, the character for the computer, and the character for our human. And with that we have all the functions. Now we have a clear structure from our code and we can build on this. And that's it for today. This episode we looked into all this structure. Tomorrow we look into the main function and maybe a little bit more. Then we make a third episode with all the rest except the AI, and this will be the fourth episode, and after that I will show the whole process, how the program works and from where to where it jumps. And with that I hope you enjoyed the video today or learned something, and I say bye.